there, everyone. Welcome to the live stream tonight. First order of business, housekeeping business, as per usual. Can you see me? Can you hear me? Let me know by leaving me a comment so that I know you can see me and you can hear me. I know that Jody's here because he said good evening, Andrew. Well, good evening, Jody. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for hanging out. So if you can see me, if you can hear me, let me know. Leave me a comment in the comment section. Also, as you're coming in, let me know you're here. Just pop something in the comment section. That way I know who I am talking to during the duration of the stream. It's always nice to know who I'm having a conversation with. And Jody says loud and clear. Perfect. All right. That is the first thing out of the way. All right. How's everybody doing tonight? How are you guys doing? Let's see here. And Jody says looking good. All right. Glad to hear. Well, I'm here with a Enterprise in the background there. Just a bottom saucer on right now, but it's getting there. I've got my tea, Earl Grey, hot, and we're ready to get some work done tonight. All right. Currently on my own. We'll see if anybody comes in who is doing who wants to kind of produce. We'll see. And Jody says, I'm doing good, and you? I'm doing all right. It's Saturday night. I'm getting ready to spend 2 hours live streaming, so here we are. All right. I am moving on to, well, so let's try that again. I have all of the lighting installed in the, which way am I going to here? In the bottom part of the saucer. So all of the lighting in the bottom part of the saucer is installed, ready to go. And all of the window lighting for all of the saucer is installed as well. I've got window lighting on the bottom and on the top of the metal piece that goes into the saucer. So now I am working on the top saucer part. So things we have to install into there are the phaser array. That's going to be a big thing. Hopefully we'll get that done tonight. The bridge lighting needs to be installed, and then the bridge floor needs to be installed. The arboretum lights need to go in, and the navigation lights need to go in. And so there's a flasher that has to go behind the bridge, and then there's the saucer edge navigation lights. And then I think that's all the lighting. And once all the lighting's done, the top can be permanently fixed down onto the saucer, and the major construction's done. There is going to be some minor construction work, refinement work that needs to be done. The nacelles at the front of the chiller grills, right by those collars, the parts there, they really need some attention to be put down properly. There's going to be a lot of seam work to do there. There's going to be a lot of seam work to do on the neck. Let's see. Also, I have to build in the walls for the saucer impulse engines because those are non-existent on the kit as it is. So, yeah, there's going to be a ton of just refining work to do, but we are dangerously close to the main construction being done. So I'm going to grab what am I going to grab? I'm going to grab a big saucer top and place it down on my desk, and we're going to get to work. Now, I'm not sure if my camera's going to catch everything all at once everywhere, but we are certainly going to do our best. I'm going to need to just prop it up a little bit with some foam underneath, and then I will switch the camera over so that you can see what I can see. Okay. That's looking pretty good. So let's fade over the camera, put my face up there in the corner, and let's get to work. So I have in here now the observation lounge or the conference lounge installed. I tried everything I could to get addressable LEDs into that conference room, but it is way too small. I even used some individual SMD chips that required delicate solder work, which I was able to do that successfully, but I could not get them to work properly, which has kind of been the theme with those LEDs in the past. I just have never been able to get them to work properly. So I've gone with 0402 SMDs, which are going to just be on the constant on nav light circuit. So when the nav light circuits are on, the observation lounge will be lit. And it's a very nicely scaled light. It's not too bright. I don't know that I can oh, actually, I've got a picture. Let me grab the picture that I took, and I will toss that up on screen. Give me one moment while I find that. Drag and drop my pictures in. That's one. Okay. So here's the first picture. And actually, no, I'm not going to bother even show you that one. Let me show this picture to you here. That's what it's looking like. Now, this was sitting upside down on the table, and the picture was obviously taken upside down. So I've righted the picture, and this is what it's looking like through those windows. Now, remember, there is some solar res glass in there. So that is, you're seeing that through the window material, which I'm really happy with how clear it is and how well you can see inside that room. And I've done something similar for the bridge. The bridge part I may do another. I might try doing that part again. We'll see. But I wanted to at least get proof of concept on the bridge dome so that you can see in and see the details in there. Let's see. Blair, welcome to the stream. Blair says, looking great. And Jody says, I saw the photo. It looks great. Yeah. Really happy with how well you can see in there. So, yeah. So I've got to get the bridge lighted. And let me just fade back to what we are actually working on here. So I've got to get the bridge portion lighted, and I'm thinking that I'm going to light that through the main screen. I'm going to put an LED behind the main screen, and that's going to shine light into the bridge that way. Just one 5mm SMD should do the job on that. And then at least with the bridge, it can go to red alert, right? The bridge can always go to red alert, and you can have the red in there. So that's what I'm really hoping for. The lighting is a little bit bright on camera, but it looks just really kind of just that perfect dimly lit kind of lounge area that you saw on the show. I'm really happy with the way that it looks in person on that. So, all right, let's get at it. I might need to move my solder station over here. Actually, I'm going to have to move my solder station over here because I'm going to need to solder up some LEDs, and I had it on the other workbench here just a little bit ago. All right. Let's see. Jody says, imagine a few tiny officers sitting in there. Yeah. I'm not going to be able to provide the officers for that. It's just going to be the ship. It's just going to be what you see on the ship. And if I get, let's see, what could I do here? Please hold. I'm just going to get myself some 5-volt power. And let's see if I can show this to you in real time, because the floor to the conference room is now secured in place. So I can put it right side up. And we'll see what we can get as far as a look-see inside. Yeah. Just hold with me here while I get this set up. Since it's not permanently set up, it will just take a moment. Just connecting everything into the breadboard. It's one LED on. Two LEDs are on. Oh yeah, it's looking pretty nice. Let me see if I can get you a camera shot of that. It's just going to take one moment for it to register. Ha! Okay. Focus is going to be a thing. Might need manual focus. There we go. Live shot of the conference room. You never want it to be blown up that big, though. But there we go. That's how she's looking in there. And I'm really happy you can't see the light sources. Like, you can't see the LEDs that are lighting it up. So, yeah. Pretty happy with that. It's a little ugly, blown up that large, but and I can't zoom it out now. That's fine. That's fine. There we go. You can see the table in there. There's the screen on the wall. There's the other side. The screen on that wall. Yeah, it looks really good. All right. So just a little bit of a look at it there. Now I'll gingerly turn her back over. Unplug her from the breadboard, because she's unplugging herself from the breadboard here as I turn it over. Let's see. Jody says we could have seen it 10 times, 100 times. There's no way to tell. Stephen Martin's here. Welcome to the stream. Jody says, hey, Steve, love you in the Pink Panther. Jody also says, awesome. You can see the gold models on the wall. Yeah, you can. And Blair says, man, the detail is pro. Well, thank you, Blair. Glad you like it. All right, so next thing we are going to do is get the LEDs ready for the bridge so that we can get that up and running. I'm going to pop this to the side. I'm going to switch over cameras here for a moment. I need to grab my, there we go. I need to grab my solder station from the other desk here. Everything's a little bit interconnected. Not intentionally. I'll need to plug that in. Other side of my desk. Give me one moment. All right. Let's see. Steven says, I was great in the jerk too. Jody says that's the one I was going to say, but I thought it was too obscure. All right. Make sure we got power to the solder station. We do. Awesome. Let's throw the desk back up. And I need one LED off of a strip. Now, I'm not sure which LEDs I'm going to use, but I had some around here. Where'd they go? Well, I'm going to have to use the high density. Use one off the high density because I don't seem to have my last little bit of low density around. Just check the back bench. I'm not seeing anything on the back bench. I do have some LED bits I'm grabbing. I don't want to waste anything. Oh, actually, here's one of the leftovers. I might use this. It's probably going to be a little bit easier to solder. So we'll try this out. One little piece off of the strip is what we're looking for right now. And Jody says, I would love to join and run chat for you, but I don't know how to do that. Yeah. That's fine, Jody. Thank you for being willing. Hello, if you ever decide you want to do some live streams for yourself and you need the live streaming suite in order to do that, I'm sure you could talk to the guys about being part of the crew, having access to the StreamYards. There is a yearly fee to help support that. All right, I'm just going to scratch the connection pads. Just help the... Oh, great. I don't know which direction this is going. This will just help the solder to stick. And since I don't know which direction it's going, I don't know which side I don't need to worry about scratching all of them for. So let's see. So it should be going this way. I'm going to verify on the model. Yeah. Okay, ground is on the left. So let's throw this on the OmniFixo. Let's put some power to the solder station. Grab a sip of tea, Earl Grey, hot. Grab my solder and get at her. Jody says, I don't think there's any spots left, but thanks, I really do want to start when I complete my current project. I think there are spots left. I think we have space for up to 10 people. And Jody says, I'm trying to raise money to go to Wonderfest. Yeah, very cool. It'd be cool to have you there. I'm just trying desperately to get this model done for Wonderfest. Okay. I find if I don't clean the tip properly between pads, then it gives me trouble. It really wants fresh for each. Okay. We're going to do the data out, although this might be the last one in the chain, I'm not sure, but we're going to put the data out anyway. Data for the data chain, not for data, Lieutenant Commander data. Okay, so the pads are all soldered up, ready for wiring. I've got a whole pile of spare. Where's my spare wiring bucket? Spare wire bucket. Let's see what we've got here. There's some black for the ground with a pin already installed on it. Don't worry about it, Jody. I need people to put stuff in the chat. Gives me something to talk off of. Oh, and Jody also says, I would love to meet all of you in person. Everyone associated with HTM has been extremely kind to me. Yeah, it'd be nice. It's always nice to be able to meet people that you've only met online. And of course, I mean that in the non-creepy stalker way. All right. Ground. Ground going on. There we go. Okay. Using up some wire from a failed experiment earlier today with those SMDs. data going on, data in, I should say. Jody says, I have a great deal of respect for you guys. I'm learning so much from watching and being encouraged to keep modeling. Yeah, well, sometimes things can happen when you're building something and things just don't seem to go the way that they should, and you can get really frustrated. I've discovered along the way that there's really no problem that comes up that you cannot find a solution for. Or at least very few problems that come up along the way that you cannot find a solution for. It may take time. It may delay you on the project. But there's generally not a problem you can't find a solution for. And the hive mind is great for that. You have a problem, you go to the hive mind, you go to your various groups and stuff like that, your Facebook groups, your modeling groups, that kind of thing, and you find the people who are going to help you solve your problems and give you perspectives that you hadn't thought of yourself. There we go. I'm thinking that the one LED on the monitor, the main view screen, will give all of the light that we need into the bridge. So here's hoping. I'll cut a new piece of green for the data out. Gonna have to order myself some more green 30 gauge. I didn't have a full spool of it, so I think the green came in a multicolor spool, so you always get less of everything. And green is the default color for the data side for addressable LEDs. So I should probably get a full spool of it to have in the shop. There we go. All right. I'm going to need my power cable. Over here. Let me switch to full view on the face view cam so you can kind of at least get an idea what I'm doing over here. The Raspberry Pi is over on this side. I need my breadboard. So I'm going to test the LED. So I need the power. I need the ground from the Raspberry Pi. I need the data input. I also need the LED that I want to test. It's still over here on the desk. Plugging it into power on the breadboard and into the data channel. And it's kind of here, back here. Now, I'm going to log in to the Raspberry Pi. That'll just take me one moment, and don't worry. Oh, if I go this way, you'll be able to see if that LED turns on. Once I log into the Raspberry Pi, I'll be able to show you on the screen what I'm going to do to test it. I'm just logging into the Wi-Fi for it now. Okay, we're good. Okay. So here we are in the Inner Light user interface. And I've got a test group of LEDs. And it should be one. Yeah, so because I'm only testing one LED, so I only need it to be, this test group to be LED number 1. So we're going to go to scenes. I have a new scene down here, I believe, and it's the temporary test group, SMD test. And the SMD test is a fairly dim version of like it's lit fairly dim. So we're going to give this a test. And if you can see back there, it lit up. And it can go off. There we go. And it's going to go back on. There we go. So it's working the way it is supposed to work. That's problem number 1 solved. Okay. I'm knocking into things. Sorry about that. Just knocked over a bunch of stuff on the side there. Nothing to worry about. Okay, so next up, let me turn the solder gun off because we don't need that on for a little bit here. I'm going to grab the saucer top. I'm going to move my tea Earl Grey hot out of the way. I'm going to go back to the bench view here. I'm going to grab the LED that we just put on. And I'm going to try to see how the best way to mount that might be. I'm going to try something else as well. Because this is going to be a little bit tricky to get installed in there. So bear with me for this. We're going to try something. So one piece of LED strip is a little bit hefty size-wise to get into the screen there. So we're going to try something. I've got those SMDs that I was talking about earlier, but I've got a larger size that actually did work better. So let me try setting up one of the larger ones and see if I can get those to work the way I want them to. Also, I'm just wondering about some of the LEDs. Let me grab that again. I have some of these chip LEDs that were provided to me with the lighting kit, but even that's going to be a little bit too big. All right, let's try my experiment. So what am I going to need? I'm going to need the LEDs. I'm going to need some tape. I've already got my solder station. And we're going to wire up some very small LEDs. And I'm going to try to zoom in here if I can. One moment, please. Let's see. This is going to be a bit better. There we go. Because this way you'll be able to see what I'm doing a little bit. All right. Shark. I'll just call you Shark. Shark Pedrera. But Shark is here. He says, hello, Andrew and everyone here. Well, welcome to the stream. Thanks for joining. All right, so we have these little things. So these are just SMD chips with no wires on them. They are pretty small. Not as small as ones I tried to use earlier today. Those ones were just ridiculous. I'm going to use some tape. Scissors. Back here. Let's see. Jody's saying hi to Shark, and Shark saying hi to Jody. All right. So these are tiny, and they're fiddly to work with. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a surface that these are going to stick to. Now, I need to remember what spots on the back here are to what wire, because it's either going to go this way. Here, let me see if I can get it up here. It's probably not going to focus in on that. No, it's going to struggle with that. But it's either going to go one way or the other. But I can Google the diagram. And it goes the other way. So I just quickly Googled the diagram for the particular type of LED, and it showed me which areas on the back here. Let me see if I can, if I bring this whole thing up, which has the lines on it, you should be able to see there's 4 essentially posts on there. They're all shaped differently. And so top left is ground, top right is data in, bottom left is data out, and bottom right is positive. So that's how we are going to wire this thing up. Now, if I'm using this, I'm definitely going to keep it as the last LED in the chain, just because I don't want anything weird happening with anything else because I'm using these. So let's grab some more wiring. We're just going to go fresh, I think. Here's my red. Here's my black. I've got my green over here. Gonna put some power onto the solder station. Find my mouse. Grab some chat. Jody says Andrew's pretty focused tonight, which is good. Trying to be. It can be challenging to be focused on live stream. Just turning on the backlight to give myself a little bit of extra light on here. Usually it's nicer not to have that on for the background, but I want to actually be able to see what I'm working on. So we are going to, my head will get in the way here. I apologize, but we're going to just do some fine, teeny tiny soldering here. Okay. Again, I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see this or not, but we'll see. They've been soldered, and you can see the discoloration on there is from the flux. From the rosin core. All right, now we're going to grab some wire. I'm going to grab my Omni thingamabobby. I'm going to find the end on this. We're going to get going. Kind of surprised that that Ken's not here tonight. Kind of gotten used to Ken coming in. So we're going to prep the positive here. Tin the end. Both ends, actually. Gonna grab a pin. Attach the one end to the pin. That way I can attach these to the breadboard easier. There we go. Jody says, Ken took over an hour out of his day to give me a video chat airbrushing lesson, my first video call. Very cool. I did see that was happening in the Discord, and I figured that's what was going on. So that's nice. All right, I'm going to turn the whole mat, just to make it a little bit easier for me to solder in these wires. Now, because it's placed down on tape, I can locate this precisely and tape it down. There we go. That's the positive connected, and it's not shorting out on anything else. I just knocked over my little container of pins here. I'll grab one out for the data. We'll get another data cable going on here. tin the wires. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to place the wire right at the post. Tape's going to hold it in place. And nicely soldered in. Now I'm just going to move the whole mat around. And it's going to be this corner over here for the black cable. I've got lots of black spare. Oh, we need to put the data wire onto the pin for testing purposes. I don't really care too much about the quality of the solder onto these pins because they're just temporary. All right, the ground wire ready to go. Grab a pin. Might as well attach the pin since we're here. I don't forget. Again, we're going to place it. Tape's going to keep it precisely where we want it. Touch the heat. Wires attached. Perfect. All right. I'm going to pick this up. And we're going to give it a test. Test, make sure it works over here. Sorry if I'm a little quieter when I move over here. And you guys should be able to see that if it works. So let's go over to the user interface. I'm just going to make sure that we clear everything. And then let's run the test scene, and the LED works. Oh, you can't see that the LED works. Here. The LED works. Yay. All right. Jody says, yeah, I got some great knowledge out of it, and it was enjoyable to talk to him. That's very nice. Shark says all of them are super talented and willing to help. And Jody says, I know, it's great. Okay. So we know that works, and it will need to run for an extended period of time just to make sure that it's all going to be good to go. But let's make sure that it works in the model, because if it doesn't work in the model, then there's absolutely no point, right? Yes. If it don't work in the model, there ain't no point. So let me throw the bench view back up here. Oh, and we're definitely zoomed in. Oh well, that's okay. I'm gonna turn the solder station off for the time being. That way I can get this positioned a little easier. Grab some more tea Earl Grey hot. It's very cool having these cups, but they are very tiny. Very tiny. Just a little bit of tea gets in. All right. I'm going to turn off the LEDs. And it turned off behind me. Fantastic. I'm going to grab it. And actually, I'm going to do something here. I want to seal that in. Sorry, I have to. These parts are so big, I have to move everything around anytime I want to do something here. So, and I got rid of my tape that was holding down the teeny tiny LEDs. So I've got to quickly make up another holder here. And I want to lock in that solder. I want to really lock it in. And I think that I could grab some. Hey, no, it's around here somewhere. It's over here. I could seal this in with a bit of solar res. I'm going to put a dab of solar res on the back, and I'm going to instantly cure it with the UV, and that should lock everything and protect it from coming undone. Because this is such fine solder work. We have Cap Ujda here in the chat. Welcome. Jody says, you just focus on the Enterprise. Don't worry about us. We're here for you. Well, thank you. Shark says, your electronic skills are on another level, Andrew. I would go blind trying to solder something like that. Well, you know what? I have to take these off. These are for distance. I can see great up close without them. I used to be able to see up close with them, but things change. You get old, eyes change, and I've got to take these off now to do all the close-up work. So, yeah. Okay, let's do this thing. I'm just going to coat the back side. Do not do this with the LEDs plugged in. Because the liquid will likely short out the components if you did. It needs to be a solid before you run electricity back through it. Okay, so that should be good. All right. Oh, that looks like it's nicely sealed in there. So I'm gonna test this again, just to make sure it's all good. All right. All things being equal, this should work. Let me move my... Yeah, move this way. And go. Oh, it's just angled away from the camera. You can't see it. Or maybe you can. Yeah, you just right at the right about here is where it is. Oh no, right there. You can just see it. Turn it off. Turn it on. There we go. Awesome. Okay. We're going to turn it on, and we're going to see if it will go nicely into the ship. I'm going to save this time, so I don't have to remake that in case I need to do it again. Because using these chip SMDs can be a bit finicky, so there's a chance we would have to redo everything again. TL Grey Hot. Go. R. Yeah, I think that's going to be the ticket. It's just a matter of how it's going to be mounted. And that's not going to be visible at all from the dome. Perfect. And you know what? I'm just going to tack that in place. It's nothing overly permanent. I can always remove it. That did not hold it. Rarely do I use this, but I just need it tacked into place temporarily from the back, so we're going to go glue gun. So I'll let that warm up, and I'll check in on the chat, and there's nothing new to check in on the chat. So chat's done. Good. Chat is up to date. Perfect. So what I'm going to do, you guys couldn't see what I was doing. Nobody told me that I was providing you the service of the wrong screen. What I'm trying to do is just trying to get this tacked in place. And I'll let it do its burn in right in here. You know what? I wonder. No. I'm gonna glue gun just to temporarily hold it in place there. Let me see if I can clear some of that solar res out. Although it's not going to hurt a single thing for that solar res to be there, so I'm going to leave it. Jody says that saucer is like a pirate ship steering wheel. It's like an 80s satellite dish. It's like the Arecibo radio telescope. I don't know how to say that properly, but it's pretty big. Yeah, it is. Okay. I think this warmed up enough. Just enough to hold it in place. That'll do the job for now. That's not going to be that's not going to be the permanent hold. Don't you worry. But that's going to give us the opportunity to test the lighting to make sure that it is at the level we want it to be at. So I am going to need to shuffle the the Raspberry Pi around and bring it over here, because I'm going to want to test that and test it with the bridge part in there. So let me temporarily tack the bridge in place. I've got two of these because I've got two of the Ds. All right. So I need to make sure that the one LED source and the location of the LED source is going to function the way I want it to. Just tape it in place temporarily. Although, how am I going to tack this in place temporarily? Because I do not want. I know what I'll do. Create some little straps. It's not going to need much to hold in place. I want it to be fairly tight down so I can see what that looks like. I'm sure Donnie's been waiting to see how this looks in the model. I know I've been waiting to see how this looks in the model. Okay, I'm just going to extend, use some jumper wires if I can. I might not be able to. Okay. I was going to try to use some jumper cables just to extend the wire so I didn't have to have the everything underneath the saucer, but that is what we're going to have to do. So let me move this. Let me shut down the Raspberry Pi. Gotta shut it down. It'll take 30 seconds to shut down. I'm going to grab some tea Earl Grey hot while it shuts down and take a quick look at the chat. Jody says Arecibo. Arecibo. Okay, Arecibo. Thank you for spelling that out phonetically for me. I don't know where my mouse is. There it is. He says, I just looked it up. I misspelt it. Arecibo. Okay. All right. Should be able to shut down the Raspberry Pi now. Bring it over. Almost dumped the wire in my tea. There we go. I'm just going to power it from my computer. I'm going to power the LEDs over here behind my desk. And we'll see if this all works the way it is supposed to work. One can dream. All right, I just need to reestablish connection to the Wi-Fi. There we go. That should connect. And move some stuff out of the way. So it's the large cables I'm hooking up. By large, I mean 30 gauge. It's just bigger wires than the wires that come on the 0402 SMDs. Okay. With any luck, everything is installed on there. I don't know. I might need to get my other camera out to see how this goes. Captain Shalamang is here. He says, hi all. And says, Trek has to leave. His wife wants him to go be with people. Being with people. He says, I do need to get out more. Have a good night, Andrew, and good luck with the Enterprise. Have a good night, Jody. Shark says, see you later, Jody. Okay. Gonna sign back in here. I'm gonna turn on the scene. Oh my. Okay. 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 Let's get this. Let's see what I can show here. Where's my mouse? Okay, let's see what we can see. You can already see something. Well, it's just having a hard time focusing. There's con and ops. Troy, Picard, Riker's seats. There's the Arch. Oh. It's all right. It's just struggling. So you can see things in there. Wow. All right. I'm gonna have to get some video of that. Not through the app that lets me. I'm using an app there that lets me wirelessly send it from my iPhone over to my streaming software, and yeah. Okay, I'm gonna record a little bit on my phone because it'll probably do better, and then I will put that over to my computer and I'll put it up on the stream so you guys can see what I got on it. Actually, you know what? That's probably going to help. Let's try this again. All right, let's see what we got on that. Just set it up over to my computer. Well, let's see if it's here already. Again. I think that works. Of course, it looks even better in person. Looks so good in person. Yeah, I think we have a winner. Let's see. Trekmod says, before I go, hi, Captain Chalamang. Jody also says, looking forward to seeing your version of the refit. Yeah, well, that might be a while. And Jody also says, that looks fantastic. Okay, bye. Shark says, looks awesome, not over bright. Steven says, extreme detail, awesome job. Thank you. And I have to say a special thanks to Donnie Daughtry, who did the paint work on the bridge and on the conference room. They look so good. Really happy with how that's turned out. So, yeah. Awesome. I'm going to unplug all this. Actually, I'm going to turn it off first. There we go. Turn it off. And then I'm going to unplug her. And that will need to test run overnight tonight. Just to make sure that nothing's wrong with the LEDs. I don't have to test run the conference room LEDs because they've already been done. All right. Now, what shall we move on to? Now, we can do phasers or we can do Arboretum. And how much time do I have? I might... I'm not sure which I should do first. Arboretum. I'll just walk you through what I'm going to have to do with the Arboretum here, at least. The Arboretum is going to be lit with 6 lights, and they're going to be completely kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Indirect. It's going to be lit completely indirectly. And what we're going to do is we're going to create a light box. We're going to build a light box that goes over this, angled down, and we're going to lock in the light, and it's going to hit the top, and it's just going to glow that whole area. So that's what we are going to do on this. But this is going to involve, let's see, some scratch building of a light box to get that in there. But the phasers are going to involve scratch building a light box too. So, yeah. Let's see. What do I have here? We're not going to want to go too tall. Basically, just enough to clear the lights and bring it down. So, let me grab some measurements. So this needs to be about 51 millimeters long. Let me just grab my scratch pad here and a pen. 51 millimeters by we'll say 31 millimeters. So I'm going to need to move this out of the way while we scratch build that. I'm running out of places to put things. Let me grab some styrene sheet. Look for a sturdy piece. Oh, that came along for the ride. That one's a little bit smaller. Just looking to see if I have anything I can make use of that. All right, but I don't have a ton of scrap in the thicker stuff. Okay, so we're gonna build this thing. So we need 31 millimeters. Probably gonna go 32. I need a Sharpie. Everything is everywhere right now because I'm in the middle of this build, so finding things can be a little bit tricky. By 51 milliliters, right? Millimeters. Measure the same over here. 51. Mark it. And there we go. Just using the matte lines to verify my cutting lines are straight. There we go. Now we're going to want where's my Sharpie? We want the wedge. I'm gonna cut one by sight, and then we'll cut the other one to fit. That little piece went flying somewhere. All right, we're going to reproduce essentially the same piece again, if we can. Doesn't need to be 100% precise because it's just going in the inside of the ship. No one apart from YouTube is ever going to see this. But it'll make my life a little easier if I can make it as close to the same as possible. I just broke the tip off my knife. Trim this side up, this end up. That piece went flying as well. So that'll go on here. Actually, it'll work a little easier if I put it on the side like that. And then this one will go this way up. And this, how big did I make this? 6 millimeters. So I need a strip that is 51 by 6 millimeters. We know exactly how long 51 is. And actually, I need this one to be just slightly longer. Pen not working. There we go. I need to be a little bit longer just to accommodate the thickness of the styrene sheet. Oh, that's not going to do it. I'm going to have to redo that piece. Didn't quite go the way I wanted it to there. I'd made a miscut. I was trying to salvage it, but in the end it didn't work. So I'm just going to measure this out again. So we want 6 millimeters up. I'm going to go 6 millimeters up on this end. The fine point tip on the Sharpie doesn't like to work on styrene too well for some reason. It's a pretty quiet night on here tonight. Where is everybody? All right. There we go. That's going to be better. So that part's going to go here. Something like that. And something like this. And that's going to be a light box for the deflector. All right. I am looking for this. This is just some plastic core. That I'm using to mix epoxy on. Not going to need a lot, just enough. Actually, I gloved up too quickly here. I should tape this together first and then epoxy along the inside. And since I've got this clear magic tape already sitting here, I will cut pieces off of that to do it. So I'm going to need a bit of a thicker piece, I think. And this doesn't have to. This light box does not have to be built perfectly. It'll get sealed in with tulip and other stuff. Move that over a little bit. Okay. Move this one over a little bit. This piece is not straight. I'm gonna have to cut a new piece. How did I not get that right? Just looking at it, I can tell it's not straight. All right. Clearly didn't measure it right. Okay, so that should be 6 millimeters all the way across. It just needs to be a lot closer than what that other piece was. Chat's pretty quiet. Do we still have people here? Are you still here? Are you still here, buds? Go. One more little piece for this corner. There we go. And I'm just going to epoxy the inside edge. And then that'll give me a nice little light box to work with. Okay. Now it's time to glove up. Oh, Toronto Prop Expo. Welcome to the stream. Somebody on Facebook, I think it was, either Facebook or my YouTube channel, was suggesting that I take the big Enterprise D here, the 3-foot long Enterprise D, to the Toronto Prop Expo, but I don't really know anything about it. So if that's of any interest, my email is contact@canadianstarships.com. But I don't know anything about the show. I mean, I'm just down the road in Kingston, but I don't know anything about the show. But this is a 3-foot long Enterprise D that will be done for Wonderfest. It will be done for Wonderfest. Both, I'm actually doing 2 of them. Both will not be done for Wonderfest, but hopefully one will be done. Shark says, yes, we're watching you work. All right. Okay, well, let me grab my 2-part epoxy. Let me clear the chat off the screen. Don't need a lot of this for this job. Just need a teeny tiny batch. Go. Where are my toothpicks? They're hiding behind my solder station. So this will let us indirectly light those that navigate. Sorry, not the navigational deflector, the arboretum windows, and of course they are addressable LEDs like everything else. So when all said and done, the clients can have them as the standard blue. They can have them off, or they can have them any color they so choose for them to be. Again, which is really cool. Here we go. I tried to, let's see. Toronto Prop Expo says, yeah, we'd love to have you. It's a community for makers and costumers. Yeah, I caught that much. We have sessions to learn different aspects of the trade, a raffle with models and supplies, and 2 rooms with exhibitors showing off all their models, props, and creations. It's June 21st this year. What day of the week is that? What day of the week is June 21st? On a Saturday. Okay. Saturday. Because I tried to look up as much information about it, like because somebody mentioned it. I hadn't heard of it before. Well, I think I did. I think somebody that might be the show that somebody I know was a vendor for. If there's vendors, I think he might have been a vendor last year. Because I think my production assistant, the guy who was with me at Wonderfest, helping me produce videos and stuff like that while I was stuck at the table. I think he helped him with his vendor's table, and I think that might have been what it was. And then the timing would have been about right, too, after Wonderfest. There we go. All right. So this little light box is going to sit now and cure up for the next while. I've already got the LEDs for it sitting over there. Oh, I don't need that up there the whole time. I don't have time to do the phaser array tonight on stream. Let's see. Let me get these things off. I try to get them off so I can reuse them again. I go through so many gloves here in the shop. I try to reuse as much as possible. All right. But I can get a little bit of preparation work done and kind of walk you through what it is I'm going to be doing. Now, I've got the LED strip all ready to go for the phasers. And I need to know how many LEDs there are on this strip. I've got a spreadsheet. Let me just share my screen here. So I've got a spreadsheet going here of all the LEDs in the model. Oh, my face is in the way. Let me move that. And so we have currently 410 LEDs so far in the model. And you can see 1 through 39 are the chiller grills on the port side. You can just see how they're all broken down here. And I need that so that I can set up the programming properly. Let me insert a new row and just move this over. That way I can turn my face cam back on. And I can, let's just move this over a little bit more. There we go. Okay, now you can see everything. So I have to account for every LED in the ship, so that it can be addressed properly. So we're currently with what's sitting here right now with the window lights installed in the saucer. We're up to 410 LEDs. Now keep in mind that 125 of those are just the phaser array on the bottom, and the phaser array on the top is bigger. This is probably going to be, if I had to guess right now, I would guess that there's 144, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57. I would guess that there's 157. I'm going to write that number down so I don't forget what I guessed. 157. But I'm going to have to sit here and count through that. So feel free to chat while I do this. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, 34, 36, 38, 40, 42, 44, 46, 48, 50, 52, 54, 56, 58, 62, 4, 6, 8, 72, 4, 6, 8, 82, 4, 6, 8, 92, 4, 6, 8, 102, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 4, 6, 8, 32, 4, 6, 8, 42, 4, 6, 8, 52, 4, 6, and 7. Yeah, I was right. I was pretty sure that the original strip had, like the first strip in the line had 144. And then, so 157 in there. And so I'm just going to make a note in there. Where's my keyboard? So there are, low, upper phaser, 157 LEDs. Just jotting that in my spreadsheet so I don't forget. Hey Todd, how's it going? Tonight I've been all by myself. Definitely miss having a producer. Ken was not here tonight, so I've been holding the fort down on my own. All right. So what I'm going to do is I have to create the light box for these LED. Oh, I'm doing that whole providing a service for you where you can't see what I'm talking about. So 157 LEDs. I have to create a light box for these LEDs. And what I did on the lower saucer was I actually trimmed these down because there's a bunch of, if you can see here, see where this line of arrows is here? There's like 3 millimeters worth of material here that's not needed. It's just extra backing, like PCB or whatever you want to call it. And so on the lower saucer, there is, because of the metal plate that's in there, and actually what I'll do, I'll pop over there quickly with my secondary camera so you can see what I'm talking about. Give me one moment. That's not what I want to do. Give me one moment while my camera loads. And I'll have to move my microphone as well. And you don't want to see my backside, so I'll turn that off. All right, so here is the phaser strip on the lower side, and you can see how it's been light boxed in. So the inside is the LED strip backed with styrene. The outside is the is just styrene strip, and because there's absolutely no extra clearance here between the metal plate and the top of the phaser strip, I had to trim those down in order to make it fit. And then this side is shorter. The styrene side is shorter, and then this side, so I had to make sure that was shorter. Now, the upper saucer, which is sitting right here right now, I've got a whole pile extra room. I don't need to worry about that. However, if I trim the LEDs down, that will get them just a little bit closer to the phaser array. So I might still do that, but I'm going to need to cut for myself the styrene strip. That's going to be one, the part that forms the light box here. But two, I'm also going to have to cut the styrene strip that's going to back the LED strip, because that gives me something to adhere the LED strip to the model with. The back of the LED strips are, let me just grab one here. The back of the LED strips are either this blue plasticky material, or if you peel that off, it is an adhesive strip, and neither of those are good for adhering to the model. Of course, the adhesion strip is good if you're laying it just flat down on a model. It'll really tack it down until you get it permanently secured in place. But we're laying it on its side, and none of my adhesive will hold it down on either of those surfaces well. So I back it onto styrene, and then you can see how I've just tacked it down with hot melt glue around, and then that gets epoxied down permanently in place. And then the same kind of procedure for the styrene strip on the front. And then the top is covered off with white electrical tape to just to light block that in. So that's what I'm going to do here, and that's what I'm going to be working on next. Let me get back over to the desk. And that's my chair, if you're wondering what that noise was. Let's see. Todd says, "You want one?" Well, I'm gonna be I'm just gonna be wrapping things up here now, because it is 4 minutes to go, and I can't really start anything new at the moment. So I'm actually going to wrap it up. But thank you, Todd. Anytime, you are welcome. Anytime. Ken is welcome to produce anytime. You don't need to ask. You're welcome to produce anytime. You don't need to ask. Jordan's welcome to come in anytime and produce. He doesn't need to ask. So yeah, it's anytime that you're available and you want to chat on the stream, you're quite welcome to. Everybody just saying hi to Todd. All right. So Todd, before we go, you missed this. So I'm going to show you again. So the bridge module, the walls are permanently secured, and I've got some LEDs into the bridge. Well, I've got a LED into the bridge, and he's like, show me. And we've got the floor tacked in place temporarily, just so that we can see. So here is the video I took quickly of it. And that's with a solar res glass dome piece in place. I might redo that. I'll have to see how it cleans up in when I do the paint. But everything's still in rough mode here. but you can see inside there. I couldn't just do like a solar res dome. I actually had to create a round, flat piece that was the right size to fit in there because it has to be flat in order to see inside, right? So yeah, you can see everything. You can see the command center. You can see the tactical. You can see if you get around the front, you can see. Oh, Todd's coming in anyway. Well, welcome, Todd. Welcome.
Okay, that looks amazing.
Yeah.
What I do have to say though, is there a way to? Wow, oh my God, the observation lounge.
Yeah, and that's with the solar res glass in those windows too.
That looks so good. Is there a way to, with the bridge dome, is there a way to maybe thin the plastic from the inside so the thickness of the plastic is a little thinner so you can see more into the bridge?
That's already very thick. Oh, like, are you talking about the kit, like the actual kit
Yes.
itself?
Yeah. I mean,
Um,
where the bridge dome is, like if you were to like thin that plastic a little bit more, so you could get a more of it, because you're gonna look at that when you get in that oblique angle, you can see all the walls and everything,
yeah,
because
you
it's
can
so
see.
good.
So I'm limited to by what you can see with the camera.
Yeah.
You can see so much more in person.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, the camera is. It's hard to tell because I know Donnie did such a good work on all the consoles and the
Yeah, yeah,
panels and everything, and I
yeah.
was wondering if it was the thickness of the plastic was making it so you couldn't see very well in there.
No, it's you can see really well in person. It's the limit of the of what I can get with the camera.
Gotcha, gotcha. Oh no, it looks
So
fantastic, man.
yeah, and like the solar res glass is the only thing I can use in that, so that you can actually see in. Anything
Sure,
else distorts it where you can't see.
it's phenomenal.
So
It looks
that's
so good in
being,
there.
yeah, and that's being lit with and then yeah, so that's the observation deck again. I don't have any. I don't think I have any video of the observation deck yet. Video is obviously better.
Yeah. Well, and it's hard to tell too because the camera that almost looks too bright in there. The bridge looked fine, but this almost looks too bright. But the
Yeah,
camera
oh,
didn't put out.
it's
So
definitely not too bright in person.
yeah. Okay.
Um, and that might have been before I got the final lighting installed. Yeah, I don't have a video right now of the conference room.
That looks so. It looks so good. That came out so good.
Yeah, and
Ricardo,
if you
Ricardo says a little more detailed. You could read the L cars on the consoles. Yes.
if if you use any other kind of method of getting glass in there, you can't
Yeah.
see a thing because it distorts it. That is
Sure.
just so. And those are some compound curves going on there because they it curves around the room and then curves up and down.
Sure.
So that solar res, that very thin solar res sheet, just kind of conformed to that and didn't end up distorting it optically, which is really nice.
So
So
it's so good. It's
yeah.
and most people can't see it, but that table is actually glossy.
Oh
And
yeah.
yeah. I mean, Donnie's he puts so much detail work into that. He's such a good little mini painter.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, it is 11:01, which means I need to go because I have an early day tomorrow. So, thank you everyone for joining the stream, and I hope that you've enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you hit that like button. If you're new to the channel or haven't done so yet, hit the subscribe button today. You'll make me very happy if you do. But for now, my name is Andrew. This has been Canadian Starships, and we had a very short-term producer in Todd. So thank you, Todd, for popping in. And we will see you all. I should, fingers crossed, probably Monday evening, I should have the next video for this thing out. That means it should have the top of the saucer on it. Should. Hopefully. I'm hoping.
And after that, you move into paint.
I'll spend a week on the goal is spend a week on the seam work.
Yeah.
Which there isn't a ton. There's just some areas that need some tender love and care. The right in front of the chiller grills where it meets that that accordion kind of collar piece. Those need some attention. And the neck is going to need attention. And I've got to create some walls for the impulse engines on the saucer because those parts are missing from the kit. They just didn't make them. They're going to be in the next round of kits that they make because they're repopping this kit, and they're including the housings for the impulse engines this time, and they're also including a metal armature, a full metal armature this time.
But are they going to include the grooves for the rear navigation lights?
Oh, they should hollow that out.
They really should.
So they created a channel for the ones on the end of the pylon section for the second round of kits, but I'd like them to create a space for you to be able to get the ones on the top of the neck, because that's a pain to get cleared out so that you can put them on. But all right, so yeah, that's it, everybody. Have a great night. Thank you for joining, and we will see you in a video hopefully Monday. And if not, we'll be back here 9 p.m. Eastern on Saturday for another live stream. So have a good night, everyone.